there. Welcome back to the Incline. I'm your host, Crystal, and I am here with Ronald, who is the owner of Q Vibe. We're here at the New Black Wall Street Market in Stonecrest, Georgia. Ronald, how did you get into apparel? How did you get into the apparel business?
Well, I got into the apparel business. I always had a liking for fashion, and even as a child coming up, and along with my business experience and the inquisitive to want to learn business. In 2019, I decided to go ahead and open up a boutique in the middle of COVID, in the COVID pandemic, where it was a difficult finding a good shopping experience. So what we did was my business partner and we opened up a location by the Hartsfield-Jackson Airport, which was we found there was a lot of transitioners that was coming during the heart of the COVID pandemic. So we had to get creative with the 360 spin, curbside service, deliveries, and other creative ways to bring customers in. So here we are.
So why apparel? Is that your background? What's your background?
Yes. Well, apparel is, like I say, I like apparel. Fashion. Fashion is something that, I have a good, always had an interest for, and I wanted fashion that actually speaks to our culture.
And it does. You'll really enjoy his shop if you come out to the New Black Wall Street Market.
Yes.
And, tell the viewers you're in other locations as well.
Yeah. So we have another location in Woodstock, Georgia, and Roswell at the Painted Tree Boutiques. Also, we're looking to expand on the Atlanta Beltline as well.
It'll be exciting.
Yes.
Ronald, your story is unique in the sense that, and you shared with me in the past, and I hope you don't mind sharing with the viewers on the Incline.
Oh, no, I'm glad you
that you
up.
have a real life story. We want people who are watching to be inspired, right, through the tough times.
Yeah.
A lot of times we come into beautiful shops and people are running their businesses and people really don't understand what it took for you to get there.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So go back some in your life and kind of bring us up.
Okay. So let me highlight a few things. I am a 17 years invested 17 years invested in the penal system, in and out. I am a statistic that got caught up in the crack epidemic. Straight out of high school, I was from school to prison pipeline, I guess you
hear
would say.
This.
So, and it took me back and forth, in and out. So I had to come to a point where I had to get busy living or get busy dying. And so what I decided to do was just change my lifestyle, change my friends, change my associates. Not only that, just change my mindset.
So did you just wake up one day? Because people are listening to that, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes it sounds easy, but there's steps. It takes a willing mind, a heart. Like, what was that day that made you say, you know what? I got to turn left, right, or go straight?
Well, I think that the pivot point of my life is when I lost my mother, and 1 month later, ended up going into the federal prison system and having to do time. So I'm grieving two different things at the same time.
Right.
And I knew at that point that I had to do something to change my life. So it was that point that I had already started changing, but I hadn't really made a commitment to go ahead and just change my life completely. So in losing my mom and going to prison 1 month later was definitely a detrimental experience for me that actually was the pivot point of my life to make me say, well, hey, I got to change my life around. I got to build something for myself, and I got to build something for others. I got to start giving back to the community because I had taken out so much. So at this point, it's what I'm doing with Q Vibe. It's just not about selling apparel. It's a vibe and it's an experience, and I want to be able to pour into people and let them know my story. So
absolutely. I mean, and it's a beautiful store. It's an inspiring store.
Yes,
to walk in. The decor is great. Things are placed on purpose.
Thank you.
Right?
Yes, it is. Definitely.
Okay, Ronald. So you had told me before that, you not only had been in prison, but You had gotten out, you were moving forward, and something else happened.
Yes. Well, during the COVID pandemic, I had a vehicle transport company,
Okay.
and when the COVID hit, I realized that that was a pivotal point in my life that uh, I no longer wanted to be out on the road, especially during
Mm,
America's COVID pandemic. So that kind of driven me in the direction of retail to actually start my own retail business. And during that time,
mhm,
um, I had a lot of different things to transpire in my life. Lost my parent, lost my mother, lost
mm,
my father. And so it was, a few detrimental things that transpired to that God wanted to show me and help me
wow.
get to the direction that I'm in now and help me change my mindset and get,
Yeah.
uh,
So, how do you take your life and pour into others? Because I know that you've been a mentor to
yes,
other young
yes,
Black males,
correct,
men coming up, growing up.
right.
What do you tell them when you see them going down the same path as you?
Well, first I asked them what make them go down the path that they're going down, and do they realize the consequences that come with whatever that they are doing.
Mm,
And then I then let them know my experience and what the consequences that I had to face, and the fact that, if this is what you want, you have a choice to either get busy living or get busy dying. So I
it's a big
think
deal.
I think that in telling them my experience and what I had to go through, kind of helps has helped a lot of young listening minds go in
Mhm,
another direction.
mhm. Do you think that some of the young boys that they get into drugs, for instance, because they don't see an out, like this is an out,
Yes,
isn't it?
yes, yes,
So how can we continue to inspire the younger generation to let them know this is an out? You can be a business owner. You
absolutely,
don't have to sell drugs. You don't have to hustle.
absolutely.
You're gonna work hard in life
Right,
anyway,
right.
right?
So what I tell them, if a young man or young woman, if they're willing to listen, or if they're willing to want to change their life, first they have to want to change their
The
life.
willing mind.
And there's a lot of opportunity out there that can help them go in another direction. As we say, it takes a village,
It
and it's
does.
people like myself and like yourself that
Right.
are going to pour into these kids and be there for them. And
Right.
and I think that's one of the most important components to help a lot of these young kids, just being there and being a listening ear, and letting them know the experience that we had to go through, and so they won't actually have to go through that same experience. I know they say that experience is the best teacher, but
Mm,
sometimes we don't want to go through the experience that I
right.
had to go through.
Right. It's not necessary.
It's not
Yeah.
necessary.
It's all. Some of it's just not
It's
necessary.
not. It's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
So
So how did you come into the new Black Wall Street market? This is an awesome space. Um, I know we're standing here in this spot doing the interview, but it's a nice sprawling store. Makes you feel warm and inviting, right?
yes, well, I
Yeah.
appreciate that. I appreciate that. As I say again, my company and what I do is just not about selling clothes and
Yeah.
apparel. I'm selling the whole vibe and
He
experience.
is. Q
And
vibe.
Q Vibe, where quality and vibe comes together. And that's what Q Vibe is all
There
about:
you go.
quality and vibe, and having apparel that speaks to our culture. And
Mm,
like I say, when one come into any of our locations, I want them to feel warmth. I want them to understand that what we're doing is just not selling them clothes, but pouring into them and pouring into their lifestyle, as well as we get poured into as well.
yes,
So,
absolutely. How did you come about this particular location?
well, New Black Wall Street was one that really stood out, and from the moment that I heard about the New Black Wall Street concept, I knew that I had to be there because I wanted to be a part of something that had meaning for our history of our people. And
Yes.
the new Black Wall Street concept from of old and bringing it into the new it has been an amazing experience, and it's had its ebbs and flows, but
Hmm. But
it
inspiring though,
inspiring,
nonetheless. Yeah.
inspiring, and not only that, it's been a learning experience. I
So,
can't
what are
say.
some of your top selling items? What are some items that people come and they're just excited to pick up in the store? What are some items you would like to highlight
Well,
to the
fortunately,
viewers?
I have to say that my hats,
Ah,
the customized hats that we carry,
yeah.
are unique. They stand out. They speaks to our culture. They all have their own
You have
personality.
a few in
And
the background. You want to
yeah,
pull one down?
well, okay. So this is a summer hat right
Okay.
here, and this is a Bruno Capello,
Okay.
and it's a straw hat.
That's
Also, this
nice.
this is a different type of straw hat. That this is called a Legion. A Legion
Okay.
is actually the patent on these hats right here was invented by a black guy.
Oh,
And
really?
as you know, John Legend, he wears a lot of those type hats as
Let's
well.
see. Yeah, so I see a lot of gentlemen who come straight to your shop
Yes,
looking for their favorite
yes,
hat,
yes,
right?
yes.
Yeah.
So my hats are unique. We call it Fedora City, which is across the hall.
Hmm. Yeah, so
And
he has this shop where I'm standing now,
yeah,
but right across the hallway, he has a completely different nook of hats that is quite excited to come and experience, right?
yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
So, and not only that, I have a few pieces that people come travel from different places to get. My
Mm.
boho style pants, they are unique,
Those are
and
hot. Huh?
though they're definitely hot. No two pair are made alike, so
You
those are
hear that?
unique. And yes, those are two of just many product that I wanted to highlight. That
Okay. So I know you mentioned earlier that you're going into some other locations soon.
yeah, so yeah, we're actually looking at something inside of the city of Atlanta. Um,
Yeah.
Trying to expand. Eventually, I want QVive to be
I was
uh,
going to say, do you want Q Vibe to be a national brand?
right, correct. Yeah,
Yeah,
a
I
national
feel
and
that.
international brand.
National
So
and
yeah,
international.
yes.
Yeah.
So I definitely recognize here in the United States, but abroad as well.
So, what are some of the dimes that you can drop on business owners who may want to get into the apparel business or just become a business owner, or they may be in this business but feel stuck? Because we know it's a lot to do, right? It's a
Yes,
lot to
it
do in the
is. It is.
background.
It is. It definitely is. Well, first of all, you have to know your target audience. Who are you targeting? Who
Mm,
is it that you want to sell to? What type of vibe that you want to display? Um,
mm-hmm.
Also, you got to know it's a lot that comes with building out. When you build out one of these locations, it's art that goes with that. That you have to be able to have a creative mind and be able to see and be able to envision and what others may like and what others see.
Yeah, because I
So
noticed your creative vibe and it shocked me.
yeah,
I was like,
yeah,
okay, Ronald, I
yeah,
see you.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
and you also have to have something that's going to attract, and,
Mm-hmm.
not just your product, but your vibe, your energy. So, and that's what I
Mm-hmm.
found in my experience that a lot of people are buying. They're buying into the energy
That
of
Ronald
that
portrays,
I
right,
portrays. Yes,
in your
yes,
store.
in my store.
Yeah.
Q Vibe is its own entity. It's its own person.
Yeah.
So, I have to nurture it as such.
I
Yeah,
love that.
yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being on the
No
incline.
problem, no problem. I thank you for having me on Incline.
Yes, and make sure you come and check out Ronald's
Yeah,
shops,
yes,
okay?
and you can
Come to
follow us on at shopqvibeatl.com. On IG, you can follow us at shopqvibeatl.
Awesome.
Yes.
We'll see you the next time on the incline.
All right.
Bye.